And we're on to the next one. What's up, YouTube? Anime Premiere here with 3 anime series that I believe deserve to be rebooted. Keep in mind that this list will be containing series that did receive a good adaptation, however, for some reason content from its story was missing, or it's just time that it deserves a reboot. For my next video, we'll be discussing series that did receive a poor adaptation, therefore deserving of a reboot. So, if you guys like my video, make sure to like it and to subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. With that being said, let's get started with our first entry. And for our first entry, we have Claymore. And Claymore was a very good anime, but an even better manga series. It was one of the few series that empowered and built an exciting story encompassing the female role. And while the anime was good, its last few episodes deviated away from the manga story, and in comparison ended up being rather lackluster. And to add on, while Rocky was a rather annoying presence at the beginning of the manga, he was developed into a much more tolerable and important figure, and ended up being a fan favorite by many. However, the anime failed to build him into his designed role, making many frustrated with his utter uselessness. And Rocky's lack of development is just one of the many untapped moments of Claymore's excitement. The manga had such exciting lead-ups to its action, some outstanding world-building, and well-thought-out dialogue. And while the anime does touch on some of these elements, a lot of great pieces are missing, therefore deserving of a much more thorough retelling of its story. And a more thorough adaptation is just half the reason Claymore deserves an anime reboot. As mentioned before, Claymore encompassed its story around the female lead, and it's always nice to see anime with content like this, as it's fresh and original. And I think that if Claymore was animated correctly and done right, that it would be candidate for Anime of the Year or even Anime of the Decade, as Claymore didn't represent anything cliché and it had its own identity, giving it enough reason for the anime to share that same identity through its reboot. And the manga has a lot to offer through its outstanding narrative and uniqueness, making for a long-running anime series that many would find enjoyable. And for those reasons, it's deserving of a reboot in my eyes. And our second entry is Trigon, and I'm not just putting Trigon on here because it's my favorite series of all time, but because it's actually deserving of a reboot. Sure, its story is fitting for a 90s style anime, but its recent movie also showcased that if it's animated smoothly and appropriately, it can be absolutely gorgeous and attract a wide audience, adding to its already exciting story and cast. And due to the manga ending in 2007, the anime only adapted part of the story, with many missing elements. There were several characters that were never introduced, the world building wasn't there as it was in the manga, and the moral issues that the manga touched upon were only very rarely discussed in the anime. And with that being said, that led to the story never being fully developed, and that's okay as it's not really expected as the manga never finished, but I think it's time that we got to see that full story animated. And with that being said, the anime contained a lot of filler, and although it was entertaining, it was a lot. It was about 13 episodes. And although that filler content never trails too far away from the story, we still want to see the original content animated correctly. And I think Trigon offers so much content that can attract a wide audience, and I can talk about it for hours and hours, but I don't want to fill up too much time with this video, so if you want to see, you can check out my video on Yasuhiro Naito discussing his career with Trigon. But with that being said, I think the reboot would reach out to a large audience. It could be animated beautifully. I think Vash would be a likable character for the younger audience, and I think the moral situation is attractive to adults. And if done correctly, I think it could be around 70 or 80 episodes, which would be really good for a full year anime. And with so much content being untouched, I think it's time that fans get the chance to see it fully developed. And with Trigon's latest movie being a success and Naito's current success, it leads me to believe that a reboot is highly likely in the making for the future. And hopefully so, as it's my favorite series of all time. And for our final entry, we have Yu Yu Hakusho. And at one point in time, I was against Yu Yu Hakusho being rebooted. I always thought that there were some things that you should never touch. But then I thought, why not? It worked for Hunter x Hunter, and similar to Trigon, I think Yu Yu Hakusho would look stellar in today's animation style. And while having a strong anime adaptation and not too many negatives to talk about, I think fans would like to see a stronger conclusion, as I would too. And with its biggest blunder being the Three Kings arc, maybe at the end, despite being incredibly busy, Togashi could come back and give it a proper ending. And if not, someone else can write the ending and it can be stronger than the original. And that's okay, I guess. But I also think that the Yu Yu Hakusho reboot would just be fun. Sure, there are several other anime that should be rebooted over Yu Yu Hakusho, but I think Yu Hakusho would have the strongest success, and maybe encourage other studios to take a chance with more reboots in the future. And with that being said, I think this is a good opportunity to introduce older series to the younger audience members, and for older audience members to relive their childhood, as I'm sure many would love to see the Dark Tournament and Shinobu Sensory reanimated, and that would be amazing, wouldn't it? And I know I didn't really discuss many reasons why Yu Hakusho should be rebooted, but I think that would be really successful and really fun for a lot of people to watch. I know that for years many have been asking for a reboot, and although it was something that I opposed in the past, it's something that I want now. Maybe because I'm a little bit older, or maybe because I think that it would be right. It definitely would look beautiful today, and I think that a lot of younger audience members really would enjoy it. And who knows, with Togashi's success and Hunter x Hunter's success as well, it very well could be reanimated. Hey everybody, thank you so much for sticking to the end of my video. Comment reboot in the comment section down below and I'll give you a shout out in my next video. Also, while you're at it, make sure you click on some of my other videos and subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. Also, don't forget to leave that like, and if you want, share the video. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.